Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to Visionaries Playground. My name is Kristen. I'm a spiritual blogger and intuitive card reader. I also own a small crystal shop, which everything is linked down below. Today I have for you a March pick a card. So this will be for the month of March, messages, maybe some predictions. But yeah, so I'm going to have 4 groups today. If you don't know how pick a cards work, basically use your intuition to guide you and pick a group. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. I also have some charms to go along with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put those up. For the first pile, I have a peace sign. Okay, little peace sign. I thought this would be a cute idea to use some charms. Haven't done that yet on this channel. For number 2, I have this turtle. Okay, turtle. For number 3, I have a princess crown. It says princess. I don't know if you can see it. Is it gonna focus? Well, no, it's not gonna focus, but it says princess on the crown. So I'm gonna put that here. And I also have this little moon for group 4, okay? So hopefully that helps. Maybe these charms mean something significant to you. Definitely let me know if you like the charms or if you prefer crystals. Give me some feedback down below. But while you're go ahead and meditate on this. Just a couple of things. Like I said, this is for the month of March. I was thinking about this when I was getting ready this morning. So especially if you are new to pick a cards, you're probably like, wow, what kind of messages are these? Where do they come from? And I want to tell you, like, these are collective messages. And collective, when you hear an intuitive say that they're tapping into the collective energy, it's the overall energy for basically like the people that are living on this earthly realm. Like, we all have very similar themes in what we're going through, and these readings essentially tap into that collective energy, and each group is pretty different, and I don't want to tell you that you're going to get like an exact prediction, like verbatim, first week of March, this and this is going to happen. No, it's more of like an overall energy reading, what energies and what kind of themes you can expect in your day-to-day life throughout the month. It's not necessarily like, oh, like this event's going to happen, this event's going to happen, and this is going to happen, because we have free will and timelines are constantly shifting, especially because we are human beings and sometimes we're indecisive or unsure of ourselves. And so I just wanted to mention that, just because, like, if you are new to pick a cards or new to tarot in general and you see some like unfavorable spreads, that's not the end all be all. You have the power to change outcomes, because one choice can catapult you in a completely different direction. And I think tarot is just a great way, or a great tool to find clarity and guidance. And also a quote that came in my mind when I was, like I said, when I was getting ready this morning, was to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And so basically, if you have a general perspective or a general understanding of how the energies in the month of March are going to go, or any month in general, when you watch these readings, like I said, it kind of prepares you mentally, just in case you get some unfavorable cards, or maybe you were expecting something and the cards tell you otherwise. So I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to mention that, especially if anyone is new to tarot or new to my channel. They're collective messages. You take what resonates. Not every message is going to resonate, because 100 people could watch this, or I average about 30, but in the future I would like to see those numbers grow. But like 100 people can watch this, and there could be 10 different messages in one single pile, So you will know if it resonates with you because you will just feel it so deeply in your soul. It'll match kind of your thought process, or match kind of like the trajectory that you feel like you're going in right now. Or like I said, you will know it's for you because you'll just feel it. Like intuitively, you will just know that like specific message was for you. But yeah, so go ahead and pick your card pile. Here, I will move the camera just a bit so you can get a better angle. So remember, group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead, pick your card. Timestamps are down below, and I will see you at your reading. All right, hello, group 1. If you picked this super cool peace sign, this is your reading. We will be flipping over the oracle card at the very end. This is a sacred geometry oracle deck. Very first time using it on this channel, so I'm very excited. I've been kind of studying the cards the last few weeks, so I was really happy to have a new deck in the mix. So this is monthly for the month of March reading. And in the month of March, we also have the spring equinox going on, daylight savings. So I think that starts March 14th is when the spring equinox happens. So there should be some shift in some sort of dynamic within your life. And I think the situation will just be different for everybody. But towards the end, or towards the beginning of the year, a lot of intuitives, card readers, and just like people who channel messages through were saying that the month of March would be a big turning point for lots of people. And so I'm really excited to see how that plays out, because I definitely have been waiting for the month of March since January. So let's go ahead and get started, group 1. Like I said, we'll flip this over at the end. We have our peace sign resting on top of our amethyst over here. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So Spirit, I just jumped right out. I feel like the more I do these readings, like the faster the cards come out when I'm shuffling, which is a great thing. So group 1, we're off to a great start. So let's see, is there any other messages? Or should we just start here? And I want to preface this by saying that I think I'm going to go weekly, okay? I'm going to start by saying these 2 cards are the overall energy for the month of March. And then I'm going to kind of go by week. And I looked at the calendar. There's about 4.5 weeks in March, but we're going to go ahead and say 5 weeks because the month ends on like a Thursday or a Wednesday or something. So like I said, I'm gonna do 5 spreads, and that'll kind of just be like a weekly kind of whatever. So I'm gonna say this is just the overall energy for your guys' group, and I'm gonna put those up here. Hopefully you can see them. Yeah, great. So we have the 6 of Pentacles. And we also have the 10 of Pentacles. So right off the bat, you guys are going to be seeing some glow up in your finances, materialism, career even, because the Pentacles is all about earthly pleasures, and it's all about money. Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily money, but materialism, and materialism can equate to money for some people. So this is awesome. We have the 6 of Pentacles here, and to me, it's about balance. You see that she has the scale here, and it's very interesting because these people are kind of like looking at each other, and there's balance. So I feel like a lot of harmony and a lot of union will be taking place at the month of March for you. And like I said, it could be union, or it could be within your finances, but it could also mean that, yes, you're going to glow up in your materialism, and so therefore it's just going to kind of bring you closer to yourself, or just closer to maybe even your partner if you're in a relationship, or but I do see that lots of balance and lots of harmony are going to take place. And we have this Ten of Pentacles here, which is about fulfillment, and this is the family card. So that's kind of why I mentioned, like, maybe you're going to see some more balance and harmony within your family life or relationships, because I do feel like family and children are still part of that earthly pleasure. But also, like I said, this is a family card. So, yeah, the Ten of Pentacles, I'm seeing that it's going to be a lot of fulfillment in the month of March, which is amazing. Satisfaction, some milestones that you're going to be reaching. And like I said, this is going to be the overall theme, and then we're going to get into the weeks. So let's go ahead and jump into our first week of March, because this is an amazing start. So first week of March, those two cards. All right. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Holy crap. You guys have so much going on within your materialism. This is amazing. So especially if you have been struggling monetary-wise, or just struggling, maybe you have been trying to move or relocate. This is amazing. This is just a great omen. I'm going to see if there's any more cards to get out of your first week. Any more cards within the first week of March? Okay. So let's start here. Oh, and the Devil. But the Devil isn't all bad. I know that seems scary because you're like, wow, we have all these amazing cards, and then he shows up. What is he doing here? You invited him to the party. So to me, the Devil also is about materialism, but also could be about control and, like, you kind of obsessing over a situation. So within that first week of March, there could be some lingering feelings of, like, feeling like you have to control every single aspect and outcome of whatever you're trying to achieve right now. I want to say it's mainly you're focusing on career, just because we have so much Pentacle energy here, but it could also be about, like, creating a family, or just some sort of, like, foundational, I want to say foundational prosperity or abundance. You're trying to control it a little bit too much, so be mindful of that. That's why I said the Devil is not necessarily bad, but he does kind of talk about that, like, obsessive materialistic aspect of us. So I do encourage you to not be so wrapped up in how much money you're gonna have next month, or like I'm really hearing that. Just kind of let things flow to you. Don't be so worried about the amount of money or the amount of whatever kind of, like I said, materialistic thing you're trying to manifest into your life. Now we have the Three of Pentacles here, and it is about collaboration and harmony. I think this is another, like, unity card, in my opinion. It could also be that you find a mentor in the month of March, and it could be a mentor within your first week of March, because, like I said, this is kind of like your first beginning week of March. And a mentor doesn't have to be, like, physically, like, a teacher in front of you. It could simply be, like, an author that you find that you just become obsessed with and you can learn lots of information from. It could even be an online course that you come across. And so I do think that, like I said, some type of mentor could be coming into your life, or just collaboration within your business. If you are a business owner, you could collaborate with some people this month. Find some people within your community to connect with, so you guys can both benefit and grow whatever kind of platform, like, you're kind of reaching for. Now with the Two of Pentacles, yes, she is balancing a lot. And with the Two of Pentacles, like, a lot of people, like, when it's upright, it is about juggling lots of hats. And in this case, I think you're able to juggle these multiple things kind of going on in your life, whether it be family and career, or like, just nurturing yourself and nurturing your needs, and making sure everyone else is kind of content, satisfied, whatever. Like I said, this is general reading, so apply it to, your situation better than I would. So, so you could find yourself, especially, it doesn't even have to be the first week of March. It could be just overall in general. But like I said, this is the first week. So you could find yourself just juggling lots of hats the first week. And I think also where this devil comes in is to not overwhelm yourself and not to allow these multiple responsibilities to overtake your emotional sense in a way, or your mental health in a way. So just be mindful if you feel yourself becoming overworked or overwhelmed. Kind of take a step back and, like I said, not to be like try to control the outcome, not trying to just let things flow naturally. So let's go on to our second week. Let's see what's going on in our second week of March. Okay. 2 cards. Any of my cards for the second week. Yay. All right. So, try to get these in the way they came up. So like I said, these are first week. I'll have like a little here. I'll put this red jasper in the middle and he'll separate our piles. Okay, so we have our jasper and we have the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords. So, Sword and Pentacle energy. Wow, it's so much Pentacle energy. It's so crazy. And then we also have Sword energy. And remember, this is kind of towards your gearing into your second week of March. You could, those feelings of self-doubt could resurface themselves just because, like I said, maybe the first week of March, you're not going to see like immediate progress in, the things that you're trying to bring into your life. So that's going to cause you kind of some distress. And I do feel as if, maybe some just past trauma will present itself. A situation will kind of come up and it'll remind you of an experience from your past. And that could be a little triggering for some, depending on what it is. So that's where this 5 of Pentacles comes in, is all about inner work and like insecurity. And okay, so we also have the 3 of Swords here. And Sword is about like conflict and kind of where it comes up in our life. So like I said, the 3 of Swords is about grief, kind of like rejection in a sense. And it could be that somebody or someone in your life shows you some type of rejection. Maybe you have a really great idea that you're excited about and someone kind of like isn't 100% on your side and they make you feel bad about it. And it could be a mother figure, your mom, that's kind of like against you in a sense. Maybe, like I said, this is towards the second week of March, so maybe some tension between you and your parent could come up, just because with this 5 of Pentacles, this is a mother and a child, which is why I say that. But it doesn't have to be mother. It could just be someone in your circle, kind of like making you feel bad about some choices maybe that you've made, or just making you feel bad for something that you want to do in your life. And so we have this 4 of Swords energy, and I feel it's just you're kind of like an unrest, like a restless energy is, I guess, the best way to put it. You're frustrated, and the 4 of Swords could also represent resentment, and especially if it is somebody that is like not on your side about something, and you could kind of, like I said, resentment, overwhelmed, frustrated, and it could cause you to feel like you need to reevaluate and take a step back. But I'm hearing that you cannot care so much about what everyone says, even if it's your parent. Your parent yes, they want what's best for you, but they're not living your life and they're not in your shoes. So technically, they don't know what's going to make you thrive and make you happy. So I definitely think something within the second week of March is going to come up for you, and it's going to cause you to question a lot of the choices that you've made thus far. But don't let this one situation like deter you away from, or deter you away from, like what you want to do with your life and what you're trying to bring into your life. Because like I said, with this Pentacles, I really feel like it's very career oriented and like material oriented. So not to let like that kind of situation make you feel resentful or make you feel frustrated in your endeavors, because that's just going to kind of like bring you, it's going to kind of hold you down and bring you back in a way, and not bring you back. Like, it's going to cause you to think you have to take some steps back. But I wouldn't worry so much about what people say. And like I said, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. So especially if this does come up, try to remember what I said, in sense of like, don't let this person affect your decision making, because they don't know what's best for you. You know what's best for you, and that's all that matters. All right, so we're gonna move on to the third week. What we got going on the third week? Third week of March. All right, wow, 3 cards. I love 3 card spreads. It's great. So we have the Knight of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the Emperor in reverse. Can you guys see that? Okay, hold on. Let me adjust my camera just a tad, so I want you to be able to see all the cards. Here we go. Oh, why is it so zoomed in? That's weird. Sorry, guys. It's like really zoomed in. Oh, that's better. That's cool. Oh. Well, I'll just show you the card, because it's like, I don't have my zoom on, but whatever. So we have the King of Cups here in reverse. And then I think you can see these 2 cards, the 2 of Cups and then the Emperor. The Cups do talk about our relationships are an emotional state. So feeding off of this second week going into the third week, like I said, I feel like you could have a falling out with somebody very close in your life, and it could be a family member, and it could cause you, like I said, lots of grief. And I just heard in my head that it's going to be a very temporary argument. It's going to be very temporary, like, tension. You may feel the lingering feelings with this like person, the negative feelings with this person throughout the rest of the month of March, but ultimately it's because you have to be able to like step aside and put everyone else's emotions aside and only focus on your emotions, because you can't make everyone happy. You can't please everybody. You are the only one that knows like the intimate like details and situations of your life. Yes, you can tell other people what's going on, but only you truly know how you feel and how something's going to make you feel. So with this Nine of Cups here, he's kind of out of flow with himself this going into this third week, because he's normally like a go with the flow kind of person, but like I feel like emotions are going to be running high, because if this was full of water, all that water would be falling out. And so yeah, like I said, I do feel like emotional wise this third week is going to be a little intense, and that is, I'm trying to think, I'm not sure when the full moon is in March. I actually didn't look at that before I started recording. I know that the spring equinox is March 14th. So, that is that kind of wipes a lot of slates clean, but it also is going to bring lots of transformational energy. So within that transformation, like if someone is not 100% aligned with you, even if it is a parent, they are just, you're going to have to kind of put that relationship on the back burner for now. It doesn't mean that you don't care about them or you don't love them, but they're just causing you a lot of distress. And you are going to be at a point in your life in March where it's like you can't deal with the outside bullshit. Like, you have to focus on yourself, because if you don't focus on yourself in the month of March, like I just feel like it's going to keep feeding into the rest of the year. As far as like the choices you're making or the situations that are being brought up, like if you don't work through them or if you allow them to weigh too heavily or affect your choices too heavily, that it's going to kind of mess up your progress, and it could kind of mess up like the timeline that was like you have put in place for the rest of the year. So don't let this person deter you away from your path, okay? So we have this Two of Cups here, and you know, in a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's kind of like two people exchanging cups, but within this Ethereal Visions deck, it's kind of a clean cup turning dirty, or you could even see it as the dirty cup becoming clean, however you see it. And you know, like I said, in a traditional tarot deck, it would be like an equal exchange or some type of just like I said, equal exchange. But with this one, I do feel with this depiction and this deck, it is about health and it's about harmony, and because like I said, you're kind of like taking this dirty cup and making it clean. And even this Three of Swords does kind of talk about health as well. The Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords can both talk about health. So also I would say be mindful of your health within like in the middle of March. If you have any like if you feel something or something comes up like that you wouldn't normally feel, maybe it's like extra anxiety, or it could even be that you get a cold, you know, just be cautious if there's any changes within your health in the middle of the month. But it doesn't have to be for everybody. That is just one of those messages. So yeah, so trying to find more harmony within your life, and it could even just be about giving back to yourself. Like I said, if you do go through a situation with somebody, it's going to kind of make you feel like out of sorts in a sense. And I do think that it's just about coming in harmony with yourself. Now, the Emperor in reverse. So the Emperor represents like the father figure, the Fool. The Fool is the major arcana is the Fool's journey. Starts at number 0, and so throughout his journey, he meets the High Priestess, and he meets the Hierophant and whatever. But the Emperor represents the father figure of the Fool. He teaches him discipline and tradition and how to make choices, like really just how to make confident choices. Because this sphere in his hand, it's so funny. I was literally studying this card this morning. This sphere in his hand, it's significant. I forget what culture and what religion it stems from, but the sphere has a very specific name. It starts with an A. I don't remember the exact name, and I'm sorry. But the sphere represents balance and harmony. And so with him in reverse, like I said, like I feel like you're really trying to make choices for yourself, but for some reason, like either yourself is holding you back or somebody's holding you back. But like I feel like you're kind of feeling like stalemate, stagnant, stuck for some reason. Like I said, this Emperor is supposed to be that father figure, and I feel like you're kind of, in a sense, like instead of taking something head on, which is what the Emperor would tell you to do, it's kind of like you're maybe avoiding something, or it's just kind of like a chaotic energy. You're avoiding something, and if you continue to avoid whatever you're trying to do or trying to avoid, like it's going to cause some chaotic energy. And like I mentioned in the very beginning, you have the power and the free will to shift these timelines. But right now, this is the collective energy based off of, your current state. And so yeah, like I said, avoidance could be just you're feeling powerless, like powerless is the best word. Yeah. You could also be feeling powerless. Like I said, the situation that could be coming up can make you feel powerless, especially if you are at a standpoint with someone very close in your life. I am going to use these decks, my universal deck for week 4 and 5, just because I've used a lot of these cards. So I want to see just in case there's any repeat cards that need to come out. Oh, okay, so this is awesome. So this is lingering into week 4. So we have the 6 of Swords. That's just a great card. Hold on, just put that over there. 6 of Swords. Wow, the Empress. Wow. And the Knight of Cups. So with the 6 of Swords, it talks about going into calmer seas, and and also being not alone. Like, you see how, yes, this guy kind of looks a little, I would say, depressed in a way, and he has his swords around him, but he also has help and support. Like, this person is going to help him get across this stormy sea. So it could be about just reaching out to others for support, or just knowing that you're never alone. Even if something does come up to kind of make you question yourself and question your decisions, this is really about finding solutions and transitioning to the next part of your life. So even though we kind of have some intense emotional energy in the middle of the month, towards the end, you are going to find some solutions. You're going to find some clarity. We have the Empress here, I'm sorry. And you have the Emperor here, but then you have this Empress. So you're gonna stepping into that more feminine energy. The Empress would actually technically be the Fool's mother. And the Fool's mother. So I was just thinking, because like I mentioned, this is technically the Fool's father. Well, this is the Fool's mother. So she teaches the importance of connecting with your earth, connecting with earth, connecting with yourself, connecting with your intuition. It's all about creation, and also about abundance, and using the kind of tools of the earth. But that's I feel like this is a really great shift from all of this. This is awesome. So we have the Knight of Cups here, and lots of cup energy, lots of cup, sword, and pentacle energy. So yeah, definitely some emotions, definitely lots of emotions, a little bit of conflict within this month, but there's also lots of fulfillment and satisfaction and achievement. So don't let some of these more emotional cards get you kind of worried, because it does, even though there are some intense moments, I feel like it's just going to prepare you so well for all of these achievements and what's going to be coming in. So I just ask that you don't let your ego kind of get in the way, because with him in reverse, that is kind of a theme here. Even though we have a transitional energy and some clarity and some solutions, you could kind of fight these clarity, or you could kind of fight the clarity, or kind of fight the answers that you're receiving, because maybe you're scared or unsure. So he talked about egotism and egotism, I would say, is probably the best, because he also this Nine of Cups in reverse could also be about disappointment, and you could find some be disappointed just by the situation that comes up earlier in the month. But with this transition, I do feel overall this is really beneficial for you. I don't, even though he's here, I think it's just about not allowing your ego to kind of get in the way. So we're gonna just do some cards for the last week. All right, so the last week. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put these here. We have the Devil. He came up again. Wow. The Two of Wands. All right, any more cards regarding the last week? I also have the Knight of Cups. Wait, what? The Knight of Cups? What about? Oh, I'm sorry. So this is the Knight of Cups, which I knew that. This is the Knave of Cups, which I think is the Page of Cups. Sorry, that threw me off for a second because like in this Ethereal Visions deck it would say Page, but I get it now. It's okay. Okay, so we have the Devil again, which like I said, I think it's temptation in the sense like tempting to go back to what's familiar and what's comfortable, because I do feel like the month of March you're going to be moving away from your comfortability and you're going to have to kind of step out of your comfort zone, and that's going to be really scary for you because I think like you know that this is coming but you've kind of been avoiding it and putting it off to the side. So with this Devil card, I do feel as if it's again like for some reason, like you're just trying to control so much of what's going to happen, and like you have to relinquish the control, because the more you can try to control things, the more you try to fight against like the current in a sense, the more like you're going to have blockages, and like these like this Ten of Pentacles can't possibly come into fruition if you're like trying to be super controlling and not like just not allowing the universe to catch up to you and to conspire, and even just like maybe you're not being very clear with what you actually want, or maybe you don't even know what you want. Maybe you know what you like. I'm getting the sense that like you know what you want in a sense, but either you're not taking action or you're just not being very specific with yourself or the universe, and so like it's kind of hard to manifest things into your life. I feel like there is some sort of blockage because I feel like you're a little bit confused yourself about possibly like what route in life you want to take. So like I said, this is kind of the last week of March here. So again, this last week of March, we have this Devil energy coming up, this compulsiveness, this materialism, this like need to control something. Then we have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands, I feel like you're scared to move. I feel like you're just, for some reason, you're scared to make the first move. You are, like I said, blocked, literally just a blockage of sorts. And this Page of Cups or Knave of Cups reminds you to go forward with like innocence and creative ideas, and like you probably have had some ideas even come to mind, or even if you haven't, this month of March you're going to taking and putting those ideas into action. And like I said, sorry, burped. He is happy and content, and like he's confident in his life and his choices. So I really feel like you just need to embody this Page of Cups here, because like I said, he's confident, and he has this like this innocent energy about him. He has this like fish in a cup, and it's like who would have thought about that? Him, no one else. He thought of that. So like I said, he's just creative and happy, and I think that's just something that you really need to remember to embody within this month of March. So let's move on to some oracle cards. Now this is just for the overall month of March for group 1. Any oracle cards for group 1? Any more? I'm going to shuffle any more after this. Okay, thank you. All right, so we have triumphant success. Love to see it. We have financial and material changes. Also love to see that. That kind of feeds in with this 10 of Pentacles up here. Heartache and loss. And like I said, you might have, like I said, a situation, one likely is going to come up in this month. And I feel like this is what this card really represents. And fertility. And fertility does not have to be family or kids, but I did mention that if you're trying to manifest some kids into your life, this is going to be a great indication that the month of March is a great time to try. But it could also just be birthing new ideas and kind of planting those seeds, you know, letting I feel like the month of March is going to be a fertile month. And like I said, it could be fertile in the sense of trying to create some children, but I also feel like it's just about like being fertile in your ideas and letting them kind of come into fruition and like I said, birth new ideas. And her heart center is illuminated, so even though we have some intense energy, try to connect back with your heart center, do some breathing exercises, do some meditation. But the heart chakra, just, you know, I do feel like the heart chakra is just something that you're going to have to balance within the month of March. All right, so any Moonology cards? Any Moonology cards, please? Any more? Not shuffle. Thank you. Hold on. They dropped on the floor, so you might see the top of my head. Sorry. Hi. All right. A win-win outcome is in forecast. You are very close to achieving your goal. Awesome. And it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. So I love that. Time to release anything that doesn't serve you anymore. You cannot hold on to negative situations any longer. You can't hold on to toxic people, toxic jobs, toxic family members. Like, you just cannot hold on to it anymore. It's going to seriously block you if you do. You're very close to achieving your goal. So that, like I said, like 10 of Pentacles is that ultimate completion, that ultimate fulfillment. So you're definitely really, really close to getting there. And then a win-win outcome is forecast. So two more things. This is just any crystal energy. This could be a crystal to use in the month of March or just to invest in. But we have blue lace agate. Find your calm. Okay, so like I said, this could be just some crystal energy that would really benefit you in the month of March. And last but not least, we're gonna flip over our card. Cosmic Flower. Wow, like I said, this is my sacred geometry deck. The frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. I love that. And we have some blue, which represents our throat chakra, so communication. And we have some green, that green that you see for your heart chakra. So I love this. And I also feel like this red is your root chakra. And we also have some purple here, so just connecting with your intuition and communicating your needs and opening up that heart center. But that's all I have for you, Group 1. I think this is going to be a great month, even though there's some intense emotions. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me read for you. Thank you for watching. If this resonated or you think it's going to play out in the month of March, give me a huge, huge thumbs up. And please subscribe. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 2. If you picked this super adorable turtle, this is your pile. So I'm going to put him right here on our amethyst. He's just going to be chilling. All right. Might not be able to see him. He's kind of small. And then we're going to flip over our oracle card at the very end. Now remember, this is a general reading for the month of March. Let me just get comfortable here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start. Make sure you can see. the table. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do this by week. There's about 4.5 weeks in March. We're just going to round up to 5 because I think the month ends on like a Wednesday or Thursday. So we're just going to account for like the 5 weeks that it shows on the calendar. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with just an overall energy. We get an overall energy for the month of March for group 2. Overall energy, please. Overall energy. Perfect. So we have the Devil in reverse. And we also have the 4 of Swords in reverse. So with the Devil in reverse, I would say that, honestly, like, it's okay. So I want to start off by saying that like the Devil is not bad, and especially in reverse, like it's really not a bad card. Kind of like, I would say you're not okay. So upright would be like this, like kind of like obsessive energy. So with it in reverse, I'm seeing kind of more freedom. You're gonna feel more freeing energy. Maybe just a little bit more awareness in your life. You're not going to be tempted to do or go back to something. Like I feel like you are going to feel like you're able to kind of progress forward. Now, with this 4 of Swords, I feel like it's going to be kind of a push and pull throughout the month of March for you. You are going to feel a little bit more clarity about something and feeling a little bit more, like I said, free and detached. But there's still going to be some like residual feelings. Sorry, I was burping. Some residual feelings of like frustration, maybe a little bit of exhaustion within the month of March. Or like, yeah, it's like I said, I really feel like this is just a push and pull because like even though we have kind of like a freeing energy here, we're not super obsessive about the outcome, or we're not super obsessive about like the events taking place, but I do feel like maybe some of the events will lead to stagnation, frustration, and just to be a little bit exhausted. So let's go ahead and see what our week says. Like I said, this is just a kind of an overall energy to March, so push and pull in a sense. But yeah, let's go ahead and start. So the first week of March, let's go ahead and do that. First week, please. Can I have some cards for the first week of March? Oh, I love when they just like fly. It's awesome. First week of March, last shuffle. Awesome. Okay. So we have this first week of March. We have the 2 cards for this week. The 7 of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Now she did come up in reverse. I'm sorry. I kind of just flipped her over on my own. So I want to say first off with the 7 of Pentacles, I'm seeing lots of hard work. I'm seeing that you guys have either previous to month of March or you've been working on something. So you're kind of going to see those things cultivate, maybe not completely, but you're going to see some sort of achievement in a sense, or you're going to see some sort of improvement in this Pentacle energy. It is about our materialism and kind of earthly pleasures, so you're going to see some type of growth maybe within like your career or like a hobby of sorts. It could even be within your family if you're trying to make some babies, but yeah, I just see some like really great kind of, like I said, hardworking energy. And so we have the High Priestess in reverse, and so she is like she's kind of like a very, what's the word, she's full of wisdom. She kind of is the, how do you say this, like she's like the protector of this like unconscious world, like our subconscious, and she kind of rules over our intuition. She's a very intuitive being, feminine energy, like a very intuitive feminine energy. And now, okay, so unfortunately, she does kind of, in a sense, represent like I would say mistrust, because normally, like, if it was upright, it would be like, she's, like I said, very wisdom, like kind of ruling over our subconscious. But with her in reverse, I do kind of see some like mistrust, and kind of like, I'm gonna get some clarity actually, because it's kind of trumping me, and like I feel like these are kind of opposite of each other. Can I have some clarity? Oh, okay. So we have the Magician in reverse, and we also have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So this first week, it's crazy. Like I mentioned in the beginning, it's kind of like a push and pull, because it's like, not that these cards are opposite, but kind of. And then we have another kind of like opposite deck. So I'm gonna say that in the month of March, there could be lots of confusion for you, because even just reading this pile, there's some confusion here, because yes, we have the Seven of Pentacles, but then we have this like the Magician in reverse. I mean, you know, he's not necessarily this, he's kind of stuck. He's not able to be the alchemist of his life, because with him in reverse, he's not using all of these elements to his to his highest advantage, I guess you could say. He's kind of stuck, and the manifestations are stuck, and there's a blockage. And with this Knight of Cups in reverse, I'm also seeing that like a lot of just kind of, I don't know, like it's kind of like a really weird energy, because we have this Magician, which is 1, and then we have the High Priestess, which is number 2 in the Major Arcana. And so when the Fool on his journey encounters these two people, but they're in reverse, it's kind of like he's not able to progress forward with something. And it could be someone in your life, because our cups, it could be represent a relationship, but it's also just our emotional state. And it could just be that your mental health, I guess, in a sense, or you just feeling unsure of yourself. Because, like I said, it's very interesting. We have, again, like a little push and pull here. Very interesting. Yeah, like I said, the Magician is kind of like powerlessness. He's been procrastinating, I would say. So if you do resonate with that, especially this is the first week of March, so that's very, very close. If there's something that you've been putting on the back burner, like I feel like this is what's causing this kind of push and pull energy. Maybe you're going in between some choices, or maybe you're going in between like some decisions that you're trying to make for yourself, but it's really, really causing some like weird energy. Like you're not trusting in the process. Which this could attribute to that mistrust. Like she's not trusting your intuition. Oh, here you go. That's actually really great. Because like I said, she's a very intuitive person, but with her in reverse, I really feel like it goes back to, like I said, not trusting in your intuition. And so then it feeds into this Magician in reverse. Like you're just, if you don't trust yourself and don't trust your guidance, then that's what you're going to get, is you're going to get that procrastination, that stagnant energy, and then you're gonna be kind of like emotionally imbalanced in a sense, because he's kind of like letting his ego rule him with this Knight of Cups in reverse. It's very much like an ego card. So very, very interesting. Let's go on to the second week. This Jasper is gonna be kind of like the break, like first week, second week, third week, fourth week, okay? So let's go ahead and keep going. We have, the second week of March. Second week. Any more cards? Let's shuffle. Second week of March. So we have the Queen of Cups. Ooh, and then we have the Nine of Cups. So lots of Cups energy in this reading. The group 1 had so much pentacle, like almost every pentacle card you could think of. So this, I feel like your emotions are going to be kind of under the magnifying glass within this next month, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I do see that maybe you've struggled with maybe your mental health or maybe your emotional state. You've been struggling with confidence issues or self-worth leading up to this month, which I also feel like that's attributes to kind of this like push and pull energy. Like your ego is pulling you one way and then like your higher self is pulling you another. But with this Queen of Cups and with this Nine of Cups, it's a very great transition to say that I feel like whatever happens within this first week, something could really happen to make you like snap out of it and be like, oh shit, that's not me. I'm a powerful bitch. I'm powerful. I'm in charge of my emotions. No one can tell me that I'm not the alchemist of my life, because I am. And I feel like that's the energy that you really need to go into, not even just the first week of March, but in general. Like, you need to step into your power and say that I got this. Ain't nobody gonna bring me down. But with this Queen of Cups, she leads with, she's very emotionally aware. She's very intellectual. But like I said, she doesn't let her emotions get in the way of her decision making. Like I said, she's just a very thoughtful, and inspirational leader. And this Knight of Cups is so awesome. Like, his cups are full. He's got some jangle in his pocket. He's sitting there like, look at me, I'm good, fam. So I do think that Nine of Cups is a really awesome card. It's like, I really feel like it's a great card. Just to say that, like, don't worry about like all of this, make sure you get past this, because then this is what's to come. Happiness, accomplishment. So even though this is not the Pentacle card, but he's still happy and fulfilled, and you see that like I said, you got a full pocket of change there. So I feel like this is going to be you once you kind of step into your power and you realize, like, oh shit, like I really am in control, and I can control my timeline. No one, like, I have the power to make my life better. It's, I have to stop worrying about the opinion of others and worrying about what other people want to say to me or think about me. Really just not giving a single shit, okay? Don't, because this is going to be you, happy and satisfied. All right, so we're going to move on to the third week of March. Okay, and like I said, push and pull energy. Oh my goodness, I say all of that, and then we go back to this. What is this? Group 2, we have the Strength, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So like I said, there's going to be so much push and pull in this, and I think it's really just attributes to your mental state. Like, you're going in between, yes, I'm confident in myself, no, I'm not, yes, I am, no, I'm not, and it's really showing up on these cards here. So be very, very mindful of that. I want you to see we have some Strength in reverse, we have some Wheel of Fortune in reverse, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So like I said, lots of push and pull here in this month. And with the Strength in reverse, I don't feel like it's not that you don't have the strength to step into your power. It's just you're scared to. Like, I feel like you have the ability to be this like really awesome leader that's full of wisdom, that's able to share insight with people, that's able to like empathize with others. But for some reason, like, you think that you're not able to. Like, you're just, I'm not sure why. Obviously you would know more, but like, you're just not feeling like the strong, confident person that you are, but you are. You are. And this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's kind of like resistance. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like bad karma or bad luck. Now, I will say that, like, in a sense, you do reap what you've sown. So like, if you have made choices out of like a negative motivation, if you've made greedy choices out of like I think our intention behind the decisions we make is what is the most important. If you go into and make a choice out of an ill intention, or like just some type of careless, chaotic intention, like essentially that's what you're going to get back. And I think that's what this Wheel of Fortune is. Like I don't, I'm gonna hope that you guys make choices out of good intentions, but you know, I've also, there could be a select few that don't. So this is just to kind of, like I said, forewarn you, like, hey, like the Wheel of Karma is gonna come back. Make sure that you are just following suit and you're not making, your motivation behind things are not bad or not ill. But like I said, it could also just be resistance. Like you're resisting the change. Like I said, lots of push and pull energy here. Not feeling like you're in your power, so that it's causing you to lots of resistance here. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and he can't progress forward because he's not like he's kind of just being kind of careless and stagnant. And so, you know, you can't get that Pentacle energy if you are just stuck in some negative thought patterns. And I do, in a sense, just feel like this third week is going to be a little bit stagnant for you, or you're gonna, like I said, especially if you're resistant to change, like it's gonna kind of not work in your favor. And this is really a indication that you have to make a move in some way. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the fourth week. So then we have the Ten of Cups here. So, oh my goodness. So we're going to keep going. Hold on. What did I say? Like, you guys have, it's push and pull. Oh my goodness. It's like, I feel like you guys are on the brink of a breakthrough, but there's like, you are just, I unfortunately think it's you blocking yourself, not to like put you down or any way, but that's just the energy I'm getting off of you. And like, as I'm talking, it's like, it's almost like your guides want to like shake you awake, saying like, girl or guy, like you got this, like what are you doing? Like I'm getting that energy, like that, like, oh, like please believe in yourself, like we are begging you kind of thing. That is what I'm getting off of like these cards right now. Like, and I even said in the beginning, this is just a lot of like back and forth, and these cards show it too, because we have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is fulfillment and satisfaction and happiness. But then here we go again with this Eight of Swords and this King of Pentacles. Like, oh my goodness. The reason why I'm laughing is just because it's just really crazy to me, like to see kind of this emotional state play out on the cards, and I called it in the very beginning. We have the Ten of Cups, which again, like, is that ultimate fulfillment, that ultimate happiness. And the cups is our emotional state, our relationships, and like abundance and fulfillment and happiness. And maybe something happens this fourth week that can make you feel this way. An opportunity comes your way or something, and here you go again. You are again doubting yourself. What you don't realize though is you have 8 swords around you that could cut you out of this bandage, and that you don't have to have this blindfold, because like it's not like it's like wrapped around to where she can't move. Like literally that girl, all she got to do is like get her arm out of there and she can take off that blindfold and continue on. And I just feel like you are, like I said, that's why I feel like you're holding yourself back right now, because it's like you literally can get yourself out of this situation, but like you're just not believing in yourself. I don't think it's like because of like you. I mean, like I said, it is you, but I think it's just like something is making you feel so scared to progress forward. Like I said, it could just be self-confidence issues or like self-worth issues, but it's really something in this month of March that you have to overcome. If not, it's going to keep lingering on and on and on and on, and you're going to be stuck in the same cycle. And I'm sorry, but you just can't let that happen. Like you're going to get, it's this Wheel of Fortune is going to play out in that, like I said, in that kind of bad karmic sense because you're just staying in one place, and like the universe literally cannot help you unless you unless you do something for yourself. If you do something to get yourself out of these whatever is tying you up or holding you back. And we have this King of Pentacles here. Now normally the King of Pentacles, he acts out of this grounded energy. He acts out of this very determined and confident and, like I said, grounded energy, because the Pentacles is our earthly pleasure. So earth signs are very grounded, and like, I don't know, and like I feel like you're just trying, you're not trusting in the universe. Like you said, you're just trying to control something. You're trying to control things like way too much, and it's this really causing this push and pull. Like it's like you have a couple good days and then something happens and it reels you back in. And like you have the power to change this timeline. Like I mentioned in my intro, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And that was a quote that came up in my mind this morning. And I don't think about that quote like ever. I haven't thought, like, you know what I mean? That's not something I tell myself every day. Like, so I do feel like this month of March, it could be a huge turning point for you and for everybody. But as far as like this current state of energy, like this is kind of what the timeline is looking at, unless you are able to break yourself out of these chains. So we're going to get some cards for the very last week of March. Sorry, this card wants to come out. Very last week of March. Thank you. And thank you. Well, if there's any more, just let me know. I'm not going to shuffle through it again. Thank you. All right, so we have the Hanged Man. We have the Strength, but he's upright, so that's great. And we have the King of Swords. So, all right, so with the King of Swords, these are pretty great cards to kind of end the month with. I think there is no push and pull in here. This is actually really great. Now, I will say the King of Swords can be a little bit aggressive. He's kind of an intimidating leader. Just even the depiction is like kind of scary. So he is a bit of an intimidating leader. So I would advise just to be kind of mindful of yourself, like this last week. But I'm gonna say the King of Swords, even though he kind of looks scary, he's still a authority figure, but he shows lots of strength and lots of courage, and he's fair, because a king, and like a court card upright, it's not necessarily bad. Now if he was in reverse, then he would get that kind of like more mean, like cruel energy. But with him upright, yeah, even though he looks a little intimidating, he's, like I said, very respected authority figure and very fair. Now with the Strength card, it's saying that, you know, strength, you have the strength. You are going to find the strength to kind of overcome these just honestly kind of chaotic energy. And I say that in a nice way, but chaotic in the sense that it's like it's good and bad, good and bad, good and bad, and it kind of flips through that in the whole month. But we have the Strength card, and I think that's just you're gonna find some control. You're gonna find your patience. You're gonna find in a sense, you're just gonna find that like inner calmness. And I encourage you, if you're going between pile 1 and 2, go check out pile 1, just because like it was kind of a similar theme, not so much back and forth, but like as far as like finding your inner calm, inner strength, that was a pretty, like, that was a big message. So that's only if you were going between the two piles. If not, then don't worry about it. But the Strength card is about finding that calm energy. And the Hanged Man upright, he's hanging upside down, but it's not that you're hanging upside down. It's the universe is asking you to have a new perspective. You know, when the hangman is upside down, he's seeing the world from a completely different point of view. And so it is about shifting your perspective into a more positive perspective, I think. Just because, like I said, we just have so much conflicting energy here. So I do feel like it's trying to find a new perspective and just try to just see things from a different angle, from the bigger picture. I think that's really going to help you out. So we're going to get into some oracle cards, and then I will let you go. So any oracle cards for group 2? Any oracle cards, group 2? Oracle cards, group 2, last shuffle. All right. So we have emotional loss with number 5. I'll get to that in a second, though. Deception and envy. Material and spiritual prosperity. And fulfillment of wishes. I was just grabbing my book because this card came up in like in my zodiac piles too. I'm just curious to what the author has to say. Sorry, I was grabbing this book off the shelf behind me. It's not going back in. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with the ones I do know, and then we'll feed into these 2 in a sec. So fulfillment of wishes. So I think that especially kind of, well, I mean, we have these great cards here, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. So things are kind of trying to work in your favor, and I do feel as if you are going to see some of the things you've been asking for. But like I said, it's just a matter of getting over that blockage, that mental blockage. So material and spiritual prosperity. So definitely going to be evolving in some way, materialistically and spiritually evolving. This is where I'm going to look up emotional loss. Give me 1 second. It's very curious what it says. Okay. Okay. So it basically is just about letting go of your past. Yeah, so it says the painful experiences of life are equally as valuable as the joyous one. Focus all of your positive energy on the good in your life and what you're grateful for. So, I mean, you might experience some loss. I don't think that's for everybody, but if you do, this is just, kind of telling you not to focus so much on the negative parts of this loss, but to focus on the new beginnings that it could bring you and kind of letting go of that chapter. And deception and envy. So you guys are not going to believe this. I swear to you, I didn't know this quote was in this book. I am blown away. Okay, I want you to see this right here. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. I did not read this book this morning. I didn't even know this freaking quote was in here. And what did I say? The quote that came into my mind this morning, this blows me away. I am just saying to... Oh my goodness. That is freaking wild. Okay. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This card comes at a time when individuals or conditions aren't what they appear to be. How well do you really know the people around you? Are they telling you everything you need to know? In business, make sure you gather all the necessary information so that you're aware and understand all the facts before continuing. You've worked hard. Don't let others take what is rightfully yours. Unfortunately, some people may be envious of your accomplishments. And this card also represents a time of sudden and unexpected changes, or when plans that you're undertaking may not turn out exactly the way you envision. Have a plan B as a fallback strategy to prevent future problems. Use this card as a reminder to be prepared. It's better safe than sorry. Wow. however that resonates with you in the month of March. But that is just freaking wild. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. So I basically channeled that message this morning. That is so freaking cool. But which I think it could be about relationships in your life to be, just be mindful of. I feel like also if you are in a position where you are going like back and forth with something, like, I think something can kind of be taken away from you. And I don't think it's necessarily a person. It could be, it could be a relationship, even a job. You can find yourself, I don't want to say you're going to be fired from your job, but whenever I saw the plan B, that's kind of what I was thinking, like just to kind of be prepared for some unexpected things, especially in the areas that like you necessarily haven't taken action on. So kind of think about that. What have I not taken action on? And just be mindful of that, I would say. Luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius. So definitely have some good fortune coming your way. And it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. So yeah, just releasing the things, situations, people that don't serve you anymore. It will clear up some of those blockages. So crystal cards. Crystal energy for the month of great. So this could be crystal energy, a crystal for you to carry around in your pocket, invest in, whatever, if you are into crystals. But we have aventurine, create your own luck. Okay, so this is a crystal that you could work with in the month of March, and it will be very like energetically and tied to you in a sense. Like it, the energy is kind of what you need to embody or work with in the month of March. So allowance. So this is our oracle card that you've picked in the very beginning. We have number 9, allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. So I think I did mention not to be resistant. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner, and the wonder is a dance of existence and expansion. So yeah, just trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and not trying to control everything. Yeah, that's all I have for you. I was just thinking, this is freedom. This was kind of resistance here. So, and I did see lots of resistance in this pile. But that's awesome, group 2. I hope that the month of March is a very great and prosperous month for you. Let me know down below if this resonated or if this is just a theme in your life that you feel like you are leading into. But give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful month. Bye-bye. Hello, group 3. If you picked our princess crown, you're in the right place. I'm trying to get it to focus. There you go. Hell yeah. I'm going to put our beautiful little crown up on this amethyst. You might be able to see it. She's kind of small, so maybe not. But we will also be flipping over this oracle card at the very end. I'm just going to stand real quick, kind of stretch. Here's my coffee. And we'll get going. So, like I said, this is the month of March reading. I'm going to start off by shuffling for like an overall energy for the month, and then we're going to break it down by week. There's about 4.5 weeks in March, but I'm going to round it up to 5 because the month ends like on a Thursday or something, so it's close enough to being a whole week. So anyway, yeah, like I said, this is going to be the energy for the month, and then we're going to move on to the weeks. So wow, awesome. This is awesome. So we have the Magician. Beautiful. I love to see that. And we also have the 2 of Cups. So I love that. Now the 2 of Cups and the Magician, I feel like there's just going to be a lot of harmony in the month of March for you. It's going to be maybe just feel a little bit more easier than previous months so far. The Magician is all about kind of manifesting and using all the elements using the cup, the sword, the pentacle, and the wand energy, and being that alchemist for your life. And he essentially is the first card after the Fool card, because the major arcana is the Fool's journey. So he's essentially the first individual that the Fool encounters, and he teaches him how to be an alchemist. And I think that's very beautiful. So like I said, the Two of Cups is also about harmony, like harmony, union. You could see some like like maybe you're seeing some of like the milestones you've set out for kind of coming into fruition. You might see some good changes, some positive changes. So let's go ahead and jump into our week. This is a great start, kind of better start than some of the other piles. I like to have that one like positive reading. It makes everything better. Not that any reading is like inherently bad or negative, but sometimes some energies are just a little bit lower, or sometimes just a little bit more chaotic than others, you could say. So far this is a good start. So the first month of March I say that and then I get two reversals. Anyway, the first week of March I'm talking about, I say that it's gonna kind of be a more positive spin, and then we have 3 reversals to start our week. So what do I know? Anyway, I'm kidding. So like I said, this is overall just energy and theme of the month, but this is going into our first week of March. So we have the Justice card, the King of Swords, and then we have the Emperor. So with this Justice in reverse, I'm going to say that like maybe just starting out this month, it may seem a little bit unbalanced. And I want to mention that the spring equinox is March 14th. So up until then, things could just be from like the lingering kind of situations that happened in February, because I know February was kind of an intense month for lots of people. It could feed into that first month of March, and that was kind of a common theme for lots of people, so don't be scared about that. But like I said, the spring equinox on March 14th, it should kind of wipe some slates clean and bring us some fresh energy, new energy. Because it's spring, I love spring. Anyway, we have the Justice card, so it could be something or someone, or just some residual like unbalanced situations, or some type of unbalance kind of going on. Also, the Justice in reverse could indicate some okay, trying to think of the word, lack of accountability of sorts, because like I would say this is very a truthful card. I also think it's about like equality and balance. So with this in reverse, like I said, it could just be like you're kind of not taking accountability, because we have this King of Sword in reverse, and the court cards usually are about like us, or it could be other people, but I really do feel like it's also aspects of our personality and of our persona. So with this King of Swords in reverse, he's kind of like I wouldn't say like a cruel kind of like indecisive leader in a sense. So maybe you just going into this month of March, maybe you do have issues with your temper or anger, or you do have also, it could be an indecisive energy. It doesn't have to be like an angry energy. I feel like the King of Swords is also indecisive. So like this Justice card tied in with this, I think if you are being indecisive and it's causing some like upheaval in your life, you're not really taking accountability and you're not really taking action. And this Emperor in reverse, so the Emperor is the father figure of the Fool. Like I said, the Fool's journey is the major arcana, and he basically encounters these people. He encounters the Magician, he encounters the Emperor, the Empress, and the Empress would be the mother figure of the Fool, but the Emperor is that father figure, and he teaches him tradition and discipline and with him in reverse, I do feel like there's lots of indecisiveness here, because the Emperor would encourage the Fool to to make choices, clear, concise choices. So the first week of March, lots of indecisive energy about something you need to do in your life. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, there are some, like the Justice card could be, dishonesty or whatever, and maybe you're just being dishonest with yourself, it could be that too. But I do feel like it's a lot of undecisiveness, especially with these 3 cards, tons of just, like I said, indecisiveness, not really being able to make a choice for some reason, avoiding making a choice, avoiding making a decision for one reason or another. This Jasper is going to be kind of like the breaking, so first week, second week, third week, fourth week. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So the second week of March for group 3, we get out of the second week of March. All right, so the second week we have the Page of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Swords. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that in the camera here. I don't know why my camera is like super zoomed in today. Sorry, here you go. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get all these cards into the frame. Hold on. Oh, and we also have the 5 of Wands. So wow, 5, lots of 5 energy. And the 5 energy in the suits, and I'll let you see this one because it's not going to get in the frame. So the 5 of Swords here, okay. The 5 energy in the suits, it is more of a it's usually about like a confliction of sorts. It's probably it's kind of like the more negative aspect of the suits. So we're going to start with the 5 of Wands. Now the 5 of Wands, they're fighting with somebody. It's not necessarily fighting with yourself, and it could be, but it's feeling like you're in competition with others, because you see all these people kind of fighting and not agreeing. And the second week, I mean, maybe you do encounter somebody that you get into like a conflict with. Maybe there is some competition within your life. It could be competition within the workplace, even just a relationship, feeling like you have to compete for somebody's love, which if you have to even do that, I would just say, let them go. You should never have to compete for anybody's love. But yeah, some type of conflict and disagreement. So then we lead on to this Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups, she's very go with the flow, like letting the ideas flow to her and taking, because it's like she has this like fish in a cup, and it's like, oh wow, that's so creative, who would have thunk. And we have the ocean in the back. The ocean is a very peaceful and tranquil place. So I do, even though there's some type of conflict going on, also it's saying bringing in new creative ideas. And even if like the conflict, sorry, I'm just thinking, because the Wands is the fire signs. It's, it's the fire signs, and the Cups is water signs, so emotions. And it's very interesting. So sorry, I'm just, like I said, just kind of thinking about the cards and how they work with each other, because like she's about like receiving insight, and she is very happy. The Page of Cups is happy and confident, and like I said, kind of going with the flow. So maybe if there is some like competition or conflict, trying to veer away from that and embody more so this Page of Cups, not to get involved with this conflict, trying to be kind of like the outside, like try to get others to see the big picture. Maybe it could even be conflict within your family. Something comes up and you kind of have to mediate. But yeah, so we have the Five of Cups, but he's in reverse. So the Five of Cups in reverse, it is about forgiveness. It is about acceptance, because, you know, if he was upright, it would be loss and despair. But that's a really great card to have, especially if you are in a conflict with somebody within this month of March, and it does bring you some emotional, like, makes you a little bit emotional. I do see some type of reunion and acceptance and forgiveness as well. Then we have the Five of Swords. Like I said, he's kind of off over here because I can't get him in the frame. But we have the Five of Swords, and it is kind of like betrayal in a sense, because he has these two people walking away from him. So you could see, you know, it could be someone in your circle that kind of, you know, betrays your trust, or like you think they're there for you, but you come to find out that they're not. So I would say with the second week, kind of use your best judgment if something and within conflict comes up. But there is some forgiveness here. Also with this, it does talk about like nostalgia too, in a sense. So maybe it's someone that you've kind of had like quote unquote beef with before, and so it kind of just feels like you're repeating the same cycle with them. So I just be mindful of that if that does come up for you. Okay. I don't know why it won't stay like that. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the third week of March. So third week of March for group 3. I'm not gonna follow. Thank you. Group 3. Wow, this literally flew out. Anymore for group 3. We have the Two of Swords in reverse. Oh shit! I don't know why. Sorry, it's because I have a large spread. Usually you can't see all my cards, but we have the Two of Swords in reverse, the Queen of Wands, and we have the King of Wands, but he's in reverse. Very interesting, next to the Queen. Okay, so like I said, we have the Two of Swords, so I will let you get a good look at her. We'll keep going. So we have the Two of Swords. So there is some duality, and it could, usually the twos mean some type of choice, or like I said, duality, with two of something. And we have the Two of Swords. So I would say that it kind of is like, in a sense, the same conflict kind of like feeding into this week. And it doesn't have to be conflict. It could just be you're overwhelmed, and because it's so interesting. We have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and then the King of Wands. So like this is kind of like being overwhelmed, and like I said, also kind of like confused, fear-based kind of mindset, I guess you could say. And then we have the King of Wands in reverse. I know I'm skipping over the Queen, but I also want to touch on that because it's just very interesting. He is kind of like impulsive, impatient leader when he's in reverse, because normally he would be like forward thinking, like confident kind of, but with him in reverse, he's kind of like an impatient, impulsive, kind of like in a way like a ruthless leader. So this could also be in conflict with yourself, is another thing that I just heard, you know, on all these cards. The Queen of Wands, though, she is a very intuitive leader. We have this black cat here, which symbolizes the intuitiveness, and very in touch with earth, very grounded, because she has a sunflower here. Very happy, joyful leader. Like I said, she's just very intuitive, and she kind of leads her her kingdom with that like intuitive nature and with strength, because we also have these 2 lions here. So she's also a very strong, charismatic, caring leader. But then we have, like I said, this King of Wands, who's kind of like a ruthless, kind of more impatient leader. So my advice to you is embodying this Queen of Wands and not to get so caught up in the confusion and fear, because I feel like if you do, you will become that impatient leader. And like if you're impatient, I feel like that could attribute to some blockages later down the road if you're like impatient for something to happen. So let's go ahead and get the 4th week. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's like jumping out. So this 4th week is great. This is where we see some improvements. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and we also have the 10 of Pentacles. So lots of Pentacle energy here, which is awesome. We love to see it. I know you guys can't see these cards. I'm so sorry. But we have the 4 of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. So lots of materialism, and especially if you are embodying this magician and you're trying to manifest some more abundance or wealth or some just material aspects into your life, this is a good omen to say that within this, like leading up to these last couple weeks of March, that you should see some more stability, because we have the 6 of Pentacles, which is all about kindness and fairness and balance and harmony. So, and we also have the 4 of Pentacles, which is very stable, financially stable, the stability card. And so with like just with these 2 here, I feel like especially if you kind of overcome this impulsive nature of the King of Wands, then it will lead into this more beautiful, harmonious, stable energy, which is, I feel like, what you guys really, really need. And we have the Ace of Swords, which all the aces are about new beginnings. So within the swords, I think it's kind of like taking back your life. It's kind of what I'm hearing, feeling victorious, feeling inspired, and kind of just taking back what is rightfully yours. And that could be your personal power. It could just be feeling more in control of your life and in your decision making, but definitely a new beginning of sorts in some aspect, and being victorious in it. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is the ultimate fulfillment card. Fulfillment, family, but really it's just satisfaction, achievement, happiness. And so that is in the cards for you guys within that, like, leading up until last week. So this will be for that last, like, half a week in March, that 5th week that I told you about. Oh, holy, okay. We just had, like, 7 cards come out. So apparently there's a lot going on this last week. Let's see what that's about. Wow, so the Ace of Swords again. So more being victorious is definitely in the cards. So we have a victorious. We also have the King of Cups in reverse. And we have the 10 of Wands. So it's interesting. I don't understand this. We have the Justice, the Knight of Cups, and then the King of Pentacles in reverse. So what is going on here? It's so interesting to me, because it's like we have this great week, this victorious week, and then it's like something brings you down again. Very interesting. I mean, I'm just gonna have to read the cards for what they say. But this 5th week, we have this Ace of Swords, which just talked about like a victorious and finding inspiration. Now, it could be that something happens or someone happens, because with this King of Cups in reverse, it could be someone trying to, I'm really hearing, especially with this 10 of Wands and then this King of Cups, I'm really hearing that I don't think it's so much you that's going to try to sabotage your progress within this month. I'm hearing it's kind of like an outside factor at this point. So it could be friends or family that's kind of like trying to like stop you from progressing in life for some reason, because he's in 10 of Wands, he's carrying lots of burdens. So I do feel as if that's kind of, I don't think this is necessarily like negative towards you. I think somebody is going to ask you of something that you can't provide. Maybe someone asks you for money, and that puts a huge burden on you because like you just can't provide for them that month because you're, you know, for one reason or another, you just have to provide for yourself and you don't have money for everyone else. That's one thing I'm getting. Because the King of Cups, although he is like a feminine energy, I don't necessarily, it doesn't have to be like a male figure in your life. It could just be somebody that is is kind of selfish and doesn't really think about anybody else. He only thinks of themselves. And I don't think that's you. It could be you, but I'm really sensing that it's an outside factor at this point. So like I said, the King of Cups, it could just be someone burdening you and they're kind of dependent on you. And so with the 10 of Wands, like I said, it's kind of a burden. And I encourage you to tell them no. Because yes, he could also talk about accomplishment, but with these two cards, I really do feel, and then we have the King of Pentacles on either side of the 10 of Wands. And so the 10 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, in reverse, it's kind of the same thing, control and an unstable energy. And I just, especially because he's on both sides of this 10 of Wands, I don't feel like it's you. I think somebody else could be trying to use you, just has a codependency on you, they rely on you for something. And I think in this last month, you're gonna have to kind of set some boundaries and say like, hey man, I can't help you this month. You're gonna have to figure shit out on your own. I've helped you the X amount of times. I actually am at a place in my life right now where I need help. Can you provide that for me? They're probably not going to be able to. So, unfortunately, I do feel like you're just going to, like I said, encounter some type of burden. But I do feel like it's a person in your life. I don't think it's you, so just be mindful of that. Because we have the Justice in reverse next. I think you can see this Justice in reverse. So just kind of feeding off of what I said, with a Justice in a reverse, I think if you were to help this person, you're not going to see it come back to you. And I don't think you've ever seen it really, the help kind of come back to you, especially if you support someone financially from time to time. It's going to be kind of this could cause some disruption within your relationship with this person, a dispute. Maybe they're being dishonest. And it also comes back to a lack of accountability, which this Justice card up here was also about lack of accountability. I think this was more so for you, but now in this spread, I think that the person that you encounter isn't taking accountability for their life, and you can't let that affect you, because we have the Knight of Pentacles here, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like is a careless kind of stagnant energy. And I think if you were to feed in to this person, this is what it will lead you. I don't think that's the end all be all though. You have to be able to set boundaries, set solid boundaries with this person, okay? If not, it could just get you out of whack. And I don't think you're in a position right now in life where you can tolerate being out of sorts. You need stability, and stability is promised, but not if you're trying to help others when you just don't have the means to do so right now. So wow, loaded message there. We're gonna move on to some oracle cards, and let's go. They're just jumping out today. It's really great. Okay, well, you don't want to come out. They're jumping. I love watching them jump out. It's so awesome. And, okay, is there anything else that wants to come out? Shuffle again. I know. I knew there was, because I just had that inkling. God darn. All right, I'm going to stop there because you guys just had so many oracle cards come out. Jeez. All right. So we have the solar plexus chakra, which is all about personal power, okay? We have recognition and reward. And I feel like this 4th week is when you're going to kind of see some of that play out. Maybe you're looking for a promotion or just some recognition within your field of work or in your aspirations. Or maybe you just want to be recognized for like the moves you made. You want someone to be like, wow, I'm just so proud of you. Okay, I mean, maybe you're going to hear that in the month of March. We have the throat chakra, which is all about communication, setting boundaries, communicating your needs, and not allowing other people to step over your boundaries, which also goes back to personal power, because if you let someone step into your boundaries, are you really respecting yourself? No. Foundation and achievements. And this really literally looks like, trying to see, I thought I called the 10 of Cups. Actually, I don't think the 10 of Cups came out here. No, but this card looks very similar to the 10 of Cups in a traditional deck. So I think you are going to be, in a sense, setting a strong foundation. And maybe I do think you guys are going to see some milestone in something, but I do really am drawn to the foundation aspect. And it could be for some of you finding a new home, finding a new apartment, but it doesn't have to be. It could also just be having a strong foundation within yourself or within your family. Temptation. So I think it's temptation. My first thought was with this position in the 5th week, tempting to help someone when you can't, tempting to kind of feed into somebody when you probably shouldn't supposed to, or just trying to go back to like a negative thought pattern. So being mindful of that. Moving on. So I definitely think you guys are going to be moving on from something or someone in your life this upcoming month, which is actually great. This is what you really need to do, especially if there's been a situation kind of tugging at your heart saying that it's time to let this go. This is an omen to say you really need to do that, okay? Wow, we have 2 more. Holy poop. Wow, lots of chakras. So I do feel like you guys, we have the crown chakra, which is the chakra outside of our body that connects us with the divine guidance. So I do think that you guys need to be doing some chakra meditations this month, because there's more than one chakra that's out of balance right now. And I think you guys just need to work on your chakras. Start at your root chakra and go up, even though only 3 chakras came out. Only 3 came out. Go ahead and do a full chakra meditation. Find a guided one on YouTube. I think that'll really benefit you. We also have trapped in fear. So I think this is kind of like a theme in the month, is you're trapped in fear, self-doubt, like I mentioned, not being able to make choices because you're just scared of the unknown. And I think that's really like goes back to this crown chakra, like believing that you are divinely guided and divinely protected, and trying to not forget that, and don't let those feelings of fear and self-doubt like control your reality. Okay. You guys have so many oracle cards. It's like your guides have so much to say to you. So prosperity lies ahead with the new moon in Taurus. We have, wow, what did I say? Surrender to the divine. Listen to that divine guidance, okay, with the full moon. Let's see. Look, confidence is your key to success. So we have Taurus and Leo here, so you can have Taurus and Leo in your chart. But confidence is your key to success, being confident in yourself, confident in your choices and decision making. Your hard work is paying off with the new moon in Capricorn. So we have Capricorn energy, Leo energy, Taurus energy. So like I said, your hard work is paying off. It's about damn time you believe it, okay? And we have, what do you need to release with the waning moon? So I do, like I said, I think it attributes to this moving on card. What do you need to do right now? What in your life really needs to be released? What have you been kind of ignoring? yeah, I feel like you've been ignoring this calling. So just two more things. I'm just going to see if there's any. Okay, well, here's the crystal energy. We have Lemurian quartz, practice patience, okay? And if you don't have Lemurian quartz, maybe you can, look into investing in some. But even if you just have a clear quartz, you can use it. But but Lemurian quartz is specifically a good crystal, and like that will kind of help you through these situations in the month of March. So yeah, Lemurian quartz. Practice patience. All right, we're going to flip over our oracle card, and that will be it. So you ready? Woo! Crown chakra. Wow. I don't look at the, well, obviously I live shuffle, so even if I did look at these, it wouldn't fucking matter. But we have this crown chakra. So yes, definitely trusting in your divine guidance, trusting in the universe. So the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. So I definitely, yes, definitely just trusting in yourself, trusting that you're guided, just trust, okay? But yeah, that's all I have for you, group 2. I love to see these synchronicities. I know that there was some kind of emotional, intense points, but overall, I think you guys are going to find your personal power this month, and you're just, you're gonna leave this month feeling better and feeling more at ease. As long as you follow the callings of your soul and not being resistant to change, you'll definitely see some things play out in your favor. Okay, but don't be resistant. Don't be resistant. Stop being resistant. But all right, thank you so much, group 3. I love you guys. Give me a like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Peace out. Hello, group 4. You are last, but you are not least. We have our beautiful crescent moon. If you pick this, you're in the right place. I'm going to stick this bad boy right up here. So maybe you can see it, maybe not, it's kind of small, but, and then we're going to flip over our oracle card at the very end. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Like I said in the beginning, this is kind of predictions, but just like an energy reading for the month of March. So we're going to go ahead and start with just a overall energy for the month of March and then go on into the week. So these are your overall energies for the month of March. We have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the King of Pentacles in reverse. So I do want to start off and give a little disclaimer that the month of March could be maybe a little bit difficult for you, and especially I would say materialist, finance wise, only because the Pentacles do talk about our career, finances, materialism, earthly pleasures. Okay, now I don't want you to be scared of it, because like even the piles that received positive cards, like for the overall reading of March, they still had like kind of more intense situations play out. So not to be scared by it, but we're gonna go ahead and jump in. I just wanted to give that disclaimer because reversals can be a little bit daunting. But we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, so it does talk about unemployment, reevaluation. You could lose your job, quit your job, but I do see kind of a strain in finances. Now, it doesn't mean that you are going to be on the streets, but it does mean that there was going to be some sort of, it may be out of your control, maybe not. Maybe you want to quit your job, but yeah. So we have the Knight of Pentacles as well, and the Knight of Pentacles is kind of lazy, careless energy, and you could lose your job because of carelessness, and so be mindful of that. You have the King of Pentacles here, and the King of Pentacles is also kind of an unstable leader, and he abuses his power. And so especially if you find yourself in kind of like a leadership position at work, I encourage you not to take advantage of that. Unfortunately, the damage could already be done, and you could be facing this unemployment and there's nothing you can really do about it, but we're going to see what the cards say. How about that? And let the cards kind of speak for themselves. So first week of March, there's about 5 weeks. It's 4.5. The last week ends like in the middle of the week, but we're just going to say 5 weeks, okay? It just makes it a little bit easier. So the first week of March for group 4. First week of March for group 4. All right. So we have the well card. I'm gonna kind of push this one up and out. You might not be able to see it, but this is gonna be kind of a big spread, so I need some room. I don't know. Here. Hopefully my table's like wide, so I don't know. Hopefully that kind of makes it a little better. Anyway, so we have, like I said, the well card here. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the Devil in reverse. We also have the 3 of Swords in reverse. So, first off, I want to say the Devil in reverse is actually a pretty decent card. You know, I know the Devil is scary, even if it comes up in reverse or upright. It's just scary because of just who it is, you know. But actually in reverse, it's a pretty good card to say like freedom, but it could also be like materialism, or being a little bit too materialistic, but it could also mean, like I said, freedom and freedom. Detachment, awareness, kind of being vulnerable, you know. So especially with this 3 of Swords here in reverse, I'll show you this because he's kind of off to the side. So this 3 of Swords, sorry, just kind of burped. With this 3 of Swords in reverse, so it is about, it's not so much about like pain and heartbreak. It really is about forgiveness, recovery, and introspection. And I do think if this resonates in the sense of unemployment and not so much like, you know, greediness or abuse of power, it could just be that you quit a job that you've been wanting to quit. And this will bring you kind of a freeing energy. And I mean, of course, if you do leave a job, you're going to kind of have to, in a sense, like quote unquote penny pinch and just really pay attention to your spending, of course. But I mean, this is actually a really, you know, there's some vulnerability here, but there's lots of detachment and forgiveness, and like I said, clarity, and kind of, like I said, also recovery. So we have also the 3 of Wands here. 3 of Wands in reverse, though. So I would say the 3 of Wands in reverse is kind of feeling stuck. And, you know, it's okay to feel stuck, especially if you just lost your job. It could be obstacles, you know, kind of disappointing. Maybe you're disappointed with how things ended. Maybe it didn't really the situation didn't end the way that you thought it would. So there's some disappointment here within yourself. But I wouldn't really worry too much about it, because we have the Well card here. So she is seeking some higher guide, like divine guidance. She is kind of seeking answers, and like, you know, she's kind of asking for new opportunities or asking for something, because she's next to the well. She also has her pendulum. So I do think there's a lot of clarity here, and also just a lot of like getting answers and feeling more free in your life. So the Jasper is going to be our breaking point here. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So, like I said, you might not be able to see the entire spread just because this is a large spread that I'm doing. Usually I have everything in the frame of the camera, but it's kind of big spread today. So, all right. So, okay, this is not all the cards. So we are going to have week 2 for pile 4. Okay, that card. So awesome. We have the Emperor in reverse. He's came up in reverse in quite a few groups. We have the Five of Cups reversed. But we also have the Lovers, and we have the Star upright. And you're not going to be able to see the Star because she's going to be over here. So like I said, this is a big spread, so you're just not going to be able to see all the cards. Sorry. But the Emperor, so the major arcana follows the Fool's journey. The Fool is, we watch him kind of evolve throughout his journey. He encounters the Magician, and then he encounters the Emperor, the Empress. But anyway, the Emperor represents the Fool's father figure. He teaches him tradition and discipline and how to make choices, concise, clear choices, and teaches him how to not doubt himself. Masculine, confident energy. Not that feminine energy isn't confident, but just in this case, that's what I mean. Anyway, so we have the Emperor here, but when he's in reverse, it is kind of, in a sense, like indecisiveness, because like I said, he does teach of discipline and decisiveness, and it could be like chaotic energy, avoidance. But then we have this Five of Cups here, so you may feel like this in reverse, but I don't think it's necessarily actually what's going on outside. I feel like the Emperor, this is very internal, as far as like feeling powerlessness or feeling like you can't, kind of feeling like you're not able to make any moves, because we have the Five of Cups here, and the Five of Cups is about forgiveness, and the Five of Cups in reverse is about forgiveness and about like acceptance. Like I said, acceptance, forgiveness. And then we have the Lovers here. Now, the Lovers doesn't necessarily have to represent a full-on romantic partnership, but for some it could. And it could even just be kind of forgiveness within a relationship of your, with yourself or with someone else, I mean. But also the Lovers does talk about unity and harmony, and the Fool encounters the Lovers, and they teach him about communication and how to have like he teaches them how to have like communication and openness and to be in harmony with yourself and others. I'm saying he teaches the Fool that lesson when he comes across them. So, so I definitely think it's, even though there's some indecisiveness here, the Lovers does talk about kind of being and like decisive of choices and whatnot. So, that, it could be a relationship, an event, or a personal decision, whatever. We have the Star card as well, which talks about joy and fulfillment. So I think the choice that you're going to make or will make or have made is going to bring you this joy and happiness and kind of like an optimistic energy. You're going to be a little bit more curious on what the future holds. All right, so third week of March. You guys have lots of cards. Not all piles had this big of a spread, like 4 cards each. So the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. So very interesting. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse does kind of talk about chaos, and I wouldn't say it's bad luck, but it could be. But with the Five of Wands here, this is about conflict with other people, here, I'll show you this Wheel of Fortune card, sorry. So it's about conflict or competition, and like, even if it's like competition within your love life, don't, like, this came up for another pile too, but like, don't ever feel like you have to be in competition with somebody else. It actually came up in group 3. So yeah, anyway, so the Wheel of Fortune does, like I said, it does kind of talk about kind of more unfortunate luck, misfortune, but it also can be resistance to change. So it doesn't necessarily mean that like you're gonna have like unfortunate luck in the month of March. It could simply just be resistance to change, and it kind of creates a more chaotic energy because you're being resistant. Yeah, the 5 of Wands, and like I said, it's also resistance. So okay, since these cards both are like competition resistant cards, I'm gonna say that the Wheel of Fortune isn't necessarily bad karma or bad luck, but it is, you are resistant to something. Maybe you're just scared to start something new, or scared something's not gonna work out for whatever reason that resonates with you with. But we have the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is this like nurturing leader. She makes choices with emotional intelligence, and she is very protective, I guess you could say. So you could be like protective over like a situation going on in your life, feeling like you have to hold on to it, or feeling very guarded when it comes to it. But the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, very intellectual, and leads with that emotional intelligence. Then we have the 4 of Pentacles, which is about stability. So finding some stability within your finances. And like I said, especially if you do lose your job, I think that this is a good indication that you will, even if it's not a job to replace that job, you will find maybe like a side gig, side hustle, and it will bring you some income. And that will kind of, even if you have enough saved up to pay a rent for like a month or two, like even just like getting money to pay your groceries. Tax returns are right around the corner. I think we're going to get like another stimulus pretty soon. So definitely some financial stability. It's going to help you kind of get through this point, especially if you do lose your job. It's going to get, you're going to see some finance come up in some sort. All right, so week 4, March. Okay. Week 4, March. Week 4, March. Week 4, March. Okay. All right, so we have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess, and we have the 4 of Swords. Beautiful. So the High Priestess is she talks about wisdom. She teaches the full wisdom, and she does talk about our kind of more unconscious thoughts, and it could be also relating to your subconscious. So like I said, this is week 4. This is the breaking point. So this is week 4, and I do think that it does seem like you're gonna kind of find more clarity in some way. It could also be about time, like taking time out and caring for yourself, because the 4 of Swords does talk about like rest and rejuvenation, and I think that's really also about self-care and contemplation too, because we have the 2 of Pentacles here, and it's a balancing act, but she's able to balance many hats and wear many hats. She's comfortable with doing so. She's not overwhelmed by balancing many things at this point in her life. It hasn't exhausted her yet, but this kind of is a warning card to be mindful of all the things you're juggling. So I do think that's why this 4 of Swords here is, if you do find yourself juggling multiple jobs or multiple, trying to make time for friends, family, job, school, whatever, making sure that you are also resting. Not every day has to be super productive. You don't have to be balls to the walls productive all day, every day to be accomplished. Even if you only are able to get up and make yourself coffee and cook yourself like a meal, and that's all you can muster for the day, and you just want to lay in bed and watch TV for the rest of the day, do that. Now, I want to say do that every day, but we do have unproductive days. I have unproductive days. My fucking house right now it's not a mess, but it's I mean, it's not as clean as I would love it to be, because self-care is important, and this is a lesson I had to learn. And another reason why I bring myself into it is because it's easier for me to give you real life examples. But okay, for instance, when I had my son and I was going through postpartum, and I didn't necessarily have the time to clean and cook and do everything, because I was also trying to take care of myself and this new baby that I just pushed out of my body. I had to be comfortable with having my house a little messy, because normally I'm the type that my house is clean as hell. I don't really like clutter, but I had to be comfortable with it. I used to beat myself up about it. Oh my God, why can't I clean, cook, and do everything under the sun? It's just not plausible, honey. It's just not. It's okay that if you feel tired one day, maybe you lose your job and you haven't found necessarily a job to replace it. Yes, you might have found some side money that you've come into, or you might have some tax or stimulus money that you come into that helps, but you don't necessarily find a new job to replace it. And then you don't have to spend every single waking hour of your day or every single day of your week searching for a job. Okay, if there's one day where you're you know what, I've applied to 10 jobs this week, I'm fucking tired, I need to relax, do it. do it. Yes, even though the Two of Pentacles can balance all of these different hats, make sure you're making it easy on yourself, so that this Two of Pentacles don't turn into a reversal to where now she's overwhelmed and she's taking on too much, So we're going to go on to the 5th week, and I'm going to use these Rider-Waite tarot cards just because I used a lot of cards already in my other deck. So, all right, 5th last week in the group 4, please let me know what's going on. All right, that's it. All right, so last 3 cards for the week, and then we'll go into some oracle cards. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Cups, but it was reversed, so I'm going to put it back. And we have the Sun. Yay! Okay, so we have a great ending to the month. Even though we have this Ace of Cups here, the Ace of Cups, it could just be that you, it's kind of those feelings of self-doubt can kind of creep back in, is what I'm hearing. But I don't think it's going to kind of take over your mind space. I think that throughout this month, you're going to kind of become more comfortable with making a decision. You're just gonna be more comfortable within your relationships in your life. Even if you do lose your job, I do think, even especially if you do go a whole month and you don't have a new job yet and you're very stressed out, this is what this Ace of Cups can kind of contribute or attribute to. But I wouldn't worry about that, especially because we are gonna have some money coming our way. But we have the Sun here, which is all about joy and optimism and happiness. So you are going to see some type of fulfillment in your life. I don't know what that is yet. You will know when it comes, but you're going to be fulfilled. I wouldn't worry so much about the outside factors. This is really about optimism and success. So remaining optimistic, regardless if you kind of are feeling kind of crummy within your emotions that week. But I don't feel like it's not overtaking the spread, the emotion side. So it could just be opening yourself up to being more vulnerable, and vulnerability really. Or maybe you just kind of have repressed some emotions. You've been telling yourself you're strong and up to this point, and then you just kind of have a breakdown. But that's okay. Cry it out, girl, because that is honestly one of the best ways to release is to cry. So we also have the Queen of Wands, which is we have lots of sunflowers here. So lots of happiness, fulfillment, and joy, okay? Both of these cards have sunflowers, which they're pointed towards the sun. So even just spending some time outside in nature would also probably benefit you very well. But just remaining in tune with yourself, because the Queen of Wands, she's very intuitive. She has her little black kitty over here, but she's just very intuitive and wise leader, and using that wisdom, and to always remember that you are supported both on this earth and outside of this earth. You are supported and loved and cared for. So wow, let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards. So So oracle cards for group 4. Any more? Okay. Hold on. Let me shuffle just one more time. Last shuffle. Every time I say last shuffle, it's like they're like it's frantically jumping out. Oh goodness. We have conflict and defeat. And I think that this feeling of defeat kind of attributes to like a loss of sorts. Power. So you could be a Leo, but you don't have to be. This is the strength card in a traditional tarot deck. This is just to say that you have the power, you have the confidence, you have the drive to make things happen. It's just about believing that. We have fulfillment of wishes, which is beautiful. This also came up in pile 3. So if you are watching group 4, I also encourage you to watch group 3. Even if maybe it didn't catch your eye, maybe it did even, but I definitely think you should watch group 3. But we have fulfillment of wishes, so that's awesome. We have rejoice and celebration. So even if you lose something this month, I think it's going to be quickly replaced. And you just need to even celebrate the ending of a chapter in the beginning of a new one. Make sure you leave time for play and celebration in your life, and heartache and loss. So yeah, like I said, you could be losing something in. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be something, but I think it's going to be okay. Overall, I think that it's for the overall good for you, and it's going to lead you to something way better. So any Moonology cards for group 4? Sorry. All right, any more last shuffle? Any more cards for group 4? Last shuffle. All right, I lied. We're going to have a shuffle here. All right, any more? And then I'm done. Thank you. All right, so we have you and your loved ones are safe with the new moon in Cancer. So if you are worried, especially if you lose your job and you have a family to provide for, this is just to say that don't worry about that. Everyone's going to be taken care of in one way or another. We're not going to go hungry. We're not going to go homeless. It's okay. A fiery climax approaches. So I think a huge transition. It could be a tower movement kind of. I know the tower didn't come up here, but I do think there's just going to be a major transformation in this month of March, and it's going to be for your ultimate good. It may be a little scary. Maybe you even know that this is coming, and like I said, you're kind of avoiding it, kind of been resistant about it, but it's here and it's coming. And then we have the energy is gaining momentum. So yeah, definitely something is in the works for you going on behind the scenes, and it's going to be taking place fairly soon. All right, 2 more things. Oh, well. So this is just your crystal energy. We have rhodochrosite, which is remember your worth. So this could be a crystal to kind of carry in your pocket throughout the month of March, to invest in, to work with, but you don't have to, especially if you don't have the means to. But it is a thought just in case you have any. But yeah, remember your worth, okay? And we're gonna flip over this very last card, see what it says. Number 10, authority. So the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And I did say if you find yourself in a position of power, don't abuse that power. But I think this is awesome. And you, like I mentioned before, you guys are very wise and probably very nurturing creatures. So just kind of tapping into that energy and remembering your worth, and remembering that you are powerful and divinely connected at all times. You have the ability to be this powerful, intellectual, intuitive leader. It's just about time you believe that. So group 4, that is all I have for you. Like I said, if you were called to watch group 3, you can also do that. I think it ties in pretty well with this, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But if you feel called to, I strongly encourage you. But thank you so much, group 4. I hope that you have a great month of March. I will see you next time. Bye.